omulabi waffe omulamuzi ayimiriza kkooti. Omulabi waffe omulabi waffe omulamuzi kkooti agiyimiriza. Agiyimiriza okumala eddakiika 5 basobole okulaba oba bakkiriza bannamawulire bajjawo babeere nga tebaleekaanira wabweru wa kkooti. Oyo ye byamukama ne munne abawaabira Kyagulanyi n'abakulembeze abalala ba National Unity Platform. Council kkooti lwaki eyimiridde?
Babadde bagalidde ab'amawulire omulamuzi n'ayimiriza okusootinga awutu ekyo kuba ab'amawulire baagala kukolera munda ate poliisi badde bagalidde bweru.
Kati mumaze okikolako?
Bakikolako bekikwatako bakikolako siriwa byakwerinda.
Oyo ye Moses Nkonge Kibalama gw'olaba wakati awo ne ttiimu ye bazze mu kkooti. Yes, finally bannamawulire bakkirizibwa omu ku omu okuyingira. Tutegedde engeri ki gye babalondamu naye bali mu kuyingira balondamu omu ku omu.
So no, please not Friday. Friday I think the second. Let it be. Let me confirm here the time. It be 11. So when those people come, please give them that date.
11. Yes, muganda waffe Kyeyune obadde obuuza ki ekiddako. tukyalinda kulaba nga abamawulire babakkiriza okuyingira then omulamuzi akomewo omusango gugende mu maaso. baveemu omwo Kibalama mwagenda mungi ogezegeza omuyeka yabuliza balabona bagamba erikiri beera wange mutuuka eri
basembere kumpi yamugambye ddala dayigere era musana buli wali wano okulaba
This
Okay. Mr. President agenda kwogeramu ne Kibalama. Okay, Honorable Kyagulanyi asinkanyeko Moses Nkonge Kibalama. Bosa tuyimiridde mu kamera zaffe tuleke. Okay, that is the current president of National Unity Platform, BOBIWINE, talking to the former president of National Unity Platform, Moses Nkonge Kibalama. Zombie. Bano be bawerekedde Kibalama okumuleta mu kkooti era balabika nga be basirikale abamuwamba. Waliwo okutya nti bawulira ennaku okuba nti Kyagulanyi ayogera ne Kibalama era bafuba okuwuliriza ebigenda mu maaso. Omusajja oyo gw'olaba atudde emabega wa Kibalama alabika nga y'omu ku basirikale abamuwamba ne bamwogeza byayogera era afuba okulaba nti awuliriza ebigenda mu maaso wakati wa Kibalama ne BOBIWINE. Kibalama kati asituse okuva mu kkooti, tetumanyiiwa walaga. Avudde awali Kyagulanyi era kati Kyagulanyi ayogeramu ne bano. Okay, kakati Kyagulanyi waliwo omusajja ayitawo omu buli Kyagulanyi gw'ayogera naye nga bamuyitawo nga bamugjawo awali Kyagulanyi kati n'ebigombe naye bamuyise era Kyagulanyi nasituka n'agenda. Kati Kibalama ndowooza agenda kukoma mu kifo kye naye abasirikale badde bamulagidde loli betuteebereza okuba nti basirikale badde bamulagidde okuva okumpi ne Kyagulanyi. Yes, omukyalo oyo gw'olaba atudde n'omusajja oyo abasika be bazze bawerekera Kibalama era bafuba okuwuliriza biki byayogera biki bigenda mu maaso bateebereza okuba nti be basirikale abamuwamba era abatambula naye. Kibalama kati isaawa eno abamugye ku Kyagulanyi bagezaako bamutuzize mabega batandise okuddamu okumubuliefinga ku biki byalina okwogera. Okay, kati olwokuba Kyagulanyi avuddewo kati Kibalama akomawo mu kifo kye kitegeeza nti abasirikale luli badde bamugaana okutuula okwogera ne Kyagulanyi tebamukkiriza kwogera na Kyagulanyi era ne bodegaadi omusirikale ateekwa okuba nti yamukuuma wuuyo amugoberedde. Kibalama kati yeegeryamuko n'abantu abalala be yazze nabo babigombe n'abalala simanyi Kagombe n'abalala bangi naye alabikira ddala ng'ali ku bunkenke takkirizibwa kubaako byayogeraho bantu abamwetoolodde ffe be tuteebereza okuba nti be basirikale babadde bawangaala naye okuva lwe yabula emyezi egiyise. Omusajja ono gw'olaba ali mu sapatu y'omu ku bali ku lusegere lwa Kibalama n'omukyalo oyo atudde mabega n'omwami afuba okulaba nti atambulira ku mateeka gamuweereddwa. Bamukute namugambye alina okubula bombi n'oyo
vamos kubona mutawo
Okay, katukutwaleko Kibalama ate alina akafubo. Kibalama alina akafubo kalimu n'abasajja bageera.
You know what it is. So that's where state campaign is safe.
What do you want to report?
Boss, sembra che non
another free bread, getting bread.
Anyway.
Why do this one? Which one? So when you choke off now,
tuliko omulamuzi ajje tulabire. Oyo ye musajja eyefudde looya wa Kibalama kwolaba oyo w'essapatu. Oyo ye musajja yeefuula looya wa Kibalama. Yes. Okay, tetunamanya lwaki kkooti ekyayimiridde kubanga bagiyimiriza nga batugamba nti ab'amawulire be bakyayagala okuyingira. Ab'amawulire bayingidde naye kkooti ekyayimiridde ekireetedde abamu ku bantu okutya nti kandiba akakodyo okubanga omusango gugenda ate ne gwongezebwayo nga Kibalama tasoyezeddwa akajojo w'ebibuuzo kye bayita cross examination.
doesn't know that he mixed with his family and stone 50. That's why they move around. But that stone 50 was sent to Kalamoni. Standing on the road with the boss. So the boss will break the people copy that area. Put him under quarantine, the private hospital. So when the bosses got the money, he can leave. He can put the money.
Yes, omulabi okutwagala okutegeeza nti kyolaba wabwirwa kyebita heavy deployment, I think both to secure the court premises but also to see that BOBIWINE supporters do not do any activities around this place. And you can see more vehicles are coming in to even the one. Okay, omulamuzi akomyewo tugenda kubanga tutandika kooti.
Allowed. Representation remains as earlier, except for the joining of Mr. Eric Sabiti, together with Mr. Hamid Lugorobi, representing the 10 respondents. For the record, my lord, we also want to thank you for the guidance. As Santi has said, apart from the cross-examination application, we had notified the court of the need for an attempt to mediate and resolve this amicably. The circumstances have not facilitated the same because the second and ninth respondents have been missing. And speaking through their counsel this morning, we have been informed that the exercise of a discussion could only be undertaken after today's proceedings. In the event that they will be available, we will still undertake to avail ourselves for the same.
know, the issue of mediating the parties has just been informed to me by my colleague Menda. So I don't have your my lord any instructions to initiate mediation. Yes, my lord. Yes, my lord, I was present in court. Maybe my lord, you can first conduct the proceedings for today, then the rest you can hand off to the court session. Except, my lord, my clients are ready for the cross-examination of today, but they have instructed me to object to their former lawyers not to cross-examine them. That because they had some information they shared during the time they were representing them, which was confidential and could prejudice them.
When you begin making statements with a friend, you cannot say them.
Then, my lord, at an appropriate time, I will move court so that I can present the objection and court determines it.
We're ready for Mr. Kibalama Moses Nkonge, my lord.
Okay, bayise Kibalama mu kkooti. Lawyer we ono kolaba wano abadde agamba nti Kibalama si mwetegefu kubeera cross-examined by balawyer be abaali balawyer be Baseggona. Pawulo Mwanamuzi n'agamba nti eyo y'ensonga lwaki bamuyise, kubanga alina bye yayogera by'alina okukaatiriza. Kati era ssaawa eno Kibalama agenda mu Kaguli kubeera cross-examined. Okay, Kibalama abadde atidde Baseggona okumubuuza ebibuuzo, naye kati omulamuzi agambye nti balina okubimubuuza era wuuyo agenda mu Kaguli ke bayita dock, agenda kulayira.
My lord, we had requested for 2 witnesses. One is still in court. We are trying that is the other one is move out.
That is Simba.
Simba Paul Kabozi.
Mr. Simba, step out briefly. We shall call you who comes back.
My lord, is a guy that I think we presume that the after is admitted in evidence.
Yeah.
Mr. Nkonge, Moses Kibalama, there are 2 affidavits on record. I want to first identify them. 3 affidavits on record. I want to first identify them. And maybe to guide you, the first one was made on have a look at this after. Dated 14th day of September.
And I know this person is background, qualification, law of education.
Mr. Kibalama, for the purpose of this examination, can you repeat this one and quote your full names?
My full name is Moses Nkonge Kibalama.
Your age? What is your profession, or what do you do for a living?
Well, some businesses. Some businesses.
You need to be around for court to get your evidence. Be audible.
Yes.
You have private businesses.
Yes.
Apart from the private business, what do you do? You have another business. What is your profession?
Well, I got a diploma in business administration, which I attended at Makerere College of Pharmacy in the year 1995.
1995. I've also been told that you are a former police officer.
I've been joined the police in the year 1974.
And you also had several training in Sandhurst.
Sandhurst and Derbyshire Constabulary.
And that puts you at the high trained police officer.
Yeah, mostly the VIP protection and related services.
VIP protection of the former president, I think.
Yes, from President Obote, Paul Mwanga, President Binais, and I was in these three offices.
So I would be very right to think that you are very knowledgeable in the political dispensation and the history of Ghana.
Yes, I have.
Huh. There's an affidavit of 14th September.
Yes.
Is that your affidavit?
By virtue of my signature here, I would say.
You can return that one. There's another one. There's this one also. It is also dated 14th September. You read the date.
The date 14th day of September
2020. Possibly the same day. And before the same commission of oath, or drafted by the same lawyers?
No,
No, that is a different lawyer.
this is a different lawyer.
So in the space of one day, you moved two different lawyers taking the evidence.
That's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm
Okay, okupoza okutereereza mu katono Kibalama bamuwadde affidavit bbiri ze yasayininga, affidavit bbiri ze yasayininga naye nga zonna ziri ku ATM. Kati bamubuuza nti zonna yatambula mu lunaku lumu n'awandiika affidavit ku walooyo omulala n'agenda ne walooyo omulala n'awandiika endala, ekyo kyatanaba kuddamu.
Supplementary manual.
supplementary.
There is another one.
Then the original one filed in the original bundle is the one of 14.
There's another one.
So now the other one is what I'm missing. Is it for the main
It
course?
is filed 15th September, by the way.
Is it for the miscellaneous application or for the main course? That's the confusion we have. Are you referring to affidavits of the main course or the one of 15 is a miscellaneous cause.
My lord, the one I'm my lord is a miscellaneous application.
There is no one in the cause, so we are getting it from the application.
My lord, it is relevant, it is in the application.
Yeah, you should guide us. Otherwise, me, I thought I was having the file for the cause on. It was missing, I got concerned.
Proceed. Then, my lord, the last one, the supplementary in the cause. Understand? Now, I have a simple question to put to you. On 14th September, you saw an affidavit in support of the intention to change the name from NURP to NUP, National Unity Platform. And that is the affidavit of 14th September. Is that true? 2020, this year. And that is the first affidavit I gave you. Is that your evidence?
Can you return it?
That is it, Mr. Kibalama. And in that affidavit, you say,
Take us to the top.
yes, that's what I mentioned in my notes. First, in paragraph 5, you say that the applicants have no local standard. That's what you say in paragraph 5. And this specifically are saying that the application is frivolous, is responsive, is bad in law. And indeed, you are saying that all what the founder members, already founder member applicants, whatever they are saying are falsehoods. That's what you are saying in paragraph 5.
That's what I said.
That's what you said.
Yes.
Now, in the last affidavit, the supplementary affidavit, my lord, you say in paragraph 3 that after making further consultation,
Yes, sir.
that's what you said,
Yes, sir.
with the new lawyers,
Yes.
you acknowledge you had other lawyers, then you got new lawyers.
Yes, sir.
One, what motivated you?
To get my own lawyers.
No, you are not getting new lawyers, you are making consultation. What motivated you to consult other lawyers? You have read the affidavit, you read the application, you made evidence. That very day, what motivated you to consult other lawyers?
Well, since I'm not a lawyer myself, when the matter came up, to my knowledge, I had to do a lot of consultation in order to be guided.
When you say when the matter came up to your knowledge, it came to your knowledge, you made
Yes, sir.
the matter?
No, I just needed the guidance from what kind of consultation. So that's how I got that new lawyer. And the lawyer had to give me guidance on how to handle this matter.
Who are these new lawyers?
My lawyer is the gentleman seated near you.
What is his name? You need to check on the paper to know his name?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
You should seek permission of court to
You seek
if you want to
permission
refresh
to
your mind.
Yes.
If you don't remember, it's not an offense. Then
So, Mr. Yamukama, who is seated there?
So,
Mr. Biamuka,
this is Mr. Biamukama, who is seated next to me. Did the lawyer consulted?
Yeah, consulted.
And Mr. Biamukama, the other seated next to me, after consulting, he told you to do another affidavit.
He advised me to do another affidavit in order.
Not before he advised you, but you do not have it in mind, you are just consulting.
No, I was consulting for legal guidance.
Was that enough motivation?
Yeah, it was. Me, for example, me, I'm not a lawyer. I'm not studied in that area. I need to consult land people.
that the police officer, from a retired police officer,
Yes, sir.
knowledge the police to some extent.
At least.
So you consulted. So please, did you also give him the other that you had?
No, the funny thing with the first affidavit you're talking about, I was in one area I was traveling. Then colleagues and friends in the NUP invited me. It was very urgent to consult them. But they didn't have the main body of the affidavit. I was requested.
Mr. Kibalama, that is what you're taking is different. It is that I gave you the affidavit.
I signed.
That's your affidavit.
Yes, yes. I signed the
That's what I want.
the last page.
That's what I want. Let's go to your new lawyer, Biamukama. Who are the old lawyers?
The all the lawyers were
Who are they?
Anthony Wameri, Wameri and the company advocate, and there were also other lawyers from
Are you also aware that the applicants are represented by Biamukama?
no,
Is he the same person?
these people's names are almost similar, so I can't appreciate the names. But there is a Biamukama representing the other party.
There's also Biamukama representing you,
Yes.
and this person
This person represents me.
is also. Now, what is very critical, what I want you to tell you, what prompted you? There's what motivated, there's what prompted you to make another affidavit. Because you had been satisfied that you had read the application, you had read the allegation of the party founders, and you said these are falsehoods, they are not true. In a pace of only 4 days, you get motivated, you get prompted, and you visit Biamukama. Who did you refer? Who referred you to Biamukama? Have you dealt with that lawyer before?
No, I've never dealt with a lawyer before, but a friend of
In
mine,
your 59 years of
yeah,
even when you're a police
a
officer?
friend of mine that I consulted told me that that lawyer is a good lawyer, he's a smart lawyer, and these are the ingredients I was looking for from a lawyer.
Would the smart lawyer change the fact of the evidence? So that's what you did.
I don't think so, but he would be able to guide me thoroughly.
My lord objections to that question. That one touches on my integrity and creation of details for us.
Let him answer. If he says no, then unless you're feeling. Let him answer, unless he objects something.
Now, Mr. Kibalama. Yes. You know he has, you make this new lawyer, Mr. Kibalama here. You explained that you had read evidence on court record. You read the application in support of this. What followed? What advice were you looking for? You former president, party chairperson?
Yes, sir.
You have done enough there?
To answer your question, what you call an affidavit at that time, to me it was...
Forget about the affidavit, the evidence before court.
Even the evidence before court, it was not clear evidence before court, or either court process. But I was given a third page to sign because I was rushing to Kayunga for where I could spend the night. People told me, if you are not here tomorrow, then we may miss out what we have.
Did you retain a copy?
Never.
Never retained a copy?
I never retained.
So what were you consulting on? Because it appears you had no evidence.
By then I didn't have any evidence, but I went on consult, and that is what drew my concern.
What I'm interested in, what was the subject of consultation when you visited the Biamukam here?
Well, I narrated the story. That there is a group of lawyers that consulted me over these issues of the party. Then I chose to inform him exactly what was going on, so he advised me accordingly that that was a mistake. He must have signed the document without knowing the content.
Now, in paragraph 7, paragraph 6, you allude to certain affidavit, and you seem to have been informed of what was in that affidavit. Now you are telling court, you are given a last copy, you moved out because you're traveling, but when you met your new lawyer, you are simply telling him, there's an affidavit I did, this was, and that's what you said in 6. And in 7, I can read it for you. I wish to clarify that the statement in my first affidavit, prepared by Rwa. That's what you said in 7, were hurriedly made without thorough advice and reflecting what was made in my second affidavit using the new lawyers, withdrawing the first and stating the truth as I know. So you're simply saying there was an affidavit, and you are stating the facts,
Yes.
contradicting what those affidavits, the evidence you gave
Yes,
in the affidavit of the
Yes,
court.
sir.
And my question is very simple. You want court to brief, you sign the last page, without reading the contents, but you are able to tell these new lawyers that there is an affidavit there, and I know
That's right.
and the accuracy. Where? Because you never had a chance to look at those accuracies and accounts.
Now, the time by then was around 8 p.m. and I was traveling to Kayunga district.
Forget about the
for
time.
Now, this document, what you call evidence now, I need to read through the document. And that's the fact that I told my lawyer. Fact that I just signed the last page. That's why I instructed my Secretary General that before you hand over these documents, which is signed actually, the signed one, before you hand it over to the lawyers, take a telephone and read to me the text of that document. That because you had no time to read it, that is so hurriedly.
I'm sorry.
Yes, sir.
I want you to get to my question. I want to be very clear. One, a police officer, in those ranks, you're only given the last page to sign. And that's all.
Yes,
That's
sir.
what happened.
Yes.
And that's what you want people to believe.
You will hear from us.
After 4 days, you meet another lawyer, a new lawyer. He advises that the evidence before this evidence he was talking about, because you seem not to have had any evidence according to your testimony here.
You are just shown here that
What is interested? What were the evidence before Kwago, which were telling the lawyer that it was false?
the confusion now is that counsel are bringing in, I don't know.
No, the law firm.
The law firm which I don't know whatsoever. I called upon Anthony Wameri to testify on this because me, I said before Wameri is here, is a mature person, he can narrate.
Let's forget about Kwago. Now, in paragraph 7a,
Were you aware that they are being sued?
Yes, sir. It came about that very week that was.
So you had the documents.
And I did prove they didn't ever surprise.
How did you know that there was a suit?
They are lawyers, they are people lawyers, but they never gave us those documents really through and get to understand what the shoot was all about.
So after
That's
that,
the truth. Yes, they returned me all the documents. By the time signing the last page of the affidavit, I didn't even read the body of the affidavit because traveling at the time was 8 p.m. that evening. And the lawyers we are talking about have never known before who was.
Now I'll get to the case, Mr. Kibalama.
Yes.
In paragraph 7A
of which one?
of the supplemental the affidavit of 17th today, remember? You say that the resolution and minutes of the alleged extraordinary meeting held on 22nd Feb at Hotel Triangle are not true as such a meeting did not take place. I filed the said minutes and resolution electoral commission for the sake of changing the party name as required in the party constitution.
Yes, sir.
That's what you say.
That's what I say.
The former police officer. You're saying you filed falsified resolutions and minutes to a public body.
The time is 11 o'clock.
Not falsified.
You are saying there are, let me get the actual.
They are not true.
They are not true.
If they are not true, they are false.
They are false. And it is who filed them. As a police officer, you must have, did you know that is a criminal? It's a criminal charge.
I don't know, I'm not well versed with the law, but for us in politics, there was a need for filing records at the Electoral Commission, and those documents were actually timely. That on such a date you need to furnish the Electoral Commission with the rightful information. So
Are you telling court that one, you need to furnish the Electoral Commission with the rightful information?
Yes.
That's what you are telling court.
Yes.
And you're also telling court that what you submitted was false declaration. Can I also ask a question? Are you saying that we had timelines at the Electoral Commission for you to file the change of name? Was it a public requirement that by all statutory requirement that you needed to file the change of name by this date? That needed you to force
yes, the PPOA, which is Political Parties and Organizations Act, clarifies clearly that this kind of records have to be filed not later than 6 months after the party has held its delegates conference.
Now, the question here is the change of name from MURP to NUP. So you are simply telling court that we are time bound to make sure that we file those declarations for a change of name.
Yes, sir.
So that means you had changed the name. Forget about what you filed. Forget about what you filed. The intention to change the name is what you're saying. Because of that need, you needed to file certain documents. Forget about for change of name.
Yes, sir.
So it is evidence that you filed for the change of name.
Yes, sir. We filed.
No, wait. Forget what you filed. Forget about what you filed. What is present is that you filed for a change of name.
Yes.
From NRP to NUP.
Yes, sir.
Now, I'm concentrating on the criminal part of it. Because I've already captured it. I want to know, did you know that giving out false declaration to the Electoral Commission of the public office is an offense under the penal code? Because you're a police officer, you were very likely going to standards.
Yes.
Okay? As a police officer, in the VIP, did it occur to you that once you sit somewhere, falsify results, public court, to a statutory body managing electoral business and the public court, within the time that we are in now, you are committing an offense.
Well, I realized it later that some writer was committing an offense.
Are you committing?
But the full understanding of this matter.
No, wait, sorry, I'm the one guiding you. You know that you are committing an offense afterwards.
Yes.
Is it your evidence that you commit an offense?
Yes, sir, because
my lord, I want to make an application that we are faced with a self-confessed witness, criminal, and I make an application under section 98 that this court is blessed with powers, named powers, that during trial, where it occurs that there was a criminal offense committed by a person, this court makes a finding and files a file to DPP for further prosecution. This has already appeared before you and confessed to that. That is my question, my lord. I feel that it should form part of the final determination. We shall proceed, Mr.
Council shall make submission on the issue and the court shall make its ruling while disposing of the main court.
Mr. Kibalama, this is your first, you've been the lead of this practice since 2004. Is this the first time? This is not the first time you are applying for the change of name.
no, it's not the first time.
So since 2004, you have confirmed this one in court that we have made several requests for the change of party name.
Not several, but
Some.
How
About
many?
4.
How many?
twice.
Because there are 3 times, my lord.
Pardon?
I want to make a figure there are 3 times. Check on the 22nd November 23rd. You put the request to the commission. I want to give you an inquiry for this from the court. Yes? Then that was rejected. And then the second one was on 1st February 2013. The first one in 2012. The second one, 1st February 2013. This time you wanted to change Independence National Unity Party. I want to remind you. Then this is the last one, the third one.
Yes. Which one?
The one from Nup, the one of Nup in the last one. Okay? So your desire, and this is my question, this is not your first time that you are changing this party name. You had said all along, since 2012, you had wanted to change the party name. And I believe when it was finally changed, you really succeeded what you wanted at that point. How did it change?
So you can see the range of the name, pronunciation, whatnot. Our people from the grassroots use these long letters and words. So we wanted to bring that pattern name. Really, if you look at the Independent Party of Uganda, whatever, then you look at the NUP. It's really short, very short and well abbreviated.
So it is your evidence that indeed NURP, when you move the Republican and it is NUP, it is short and it is very, people appreciate it.
That's how we look at it. That's what the intention was.
That is the
to shorten the name.
Shorten the name.
And they have a shorter way of abbreviation which would be easy to the natives of this land.
And your evidence is that the grassroots election that you involved in would appreciate a shorter name.
Yes.
And indeed, National Unity Platform is a shorter name.
Yes.
Which is appreciated by the grassroots.
Yes.
Thank you very much. So, your intention, your desire was done by the Electoral Commission. In respect of what transpired, it has now shortened. What has happened? What is so weird now? That this shortened name, you don't want to hear about it. What has motivated you?
It's not me who doesn't want to hear about it.
No, I'm talking about your evidence. I'm talking about your evidence. What you wanted since 2012 to date is shorten the name. It has been achieved.
To date has worked because you hear everybody can easily pronounce the word.
So now, everyone now can pronounce it. Yes. But you said it is not you. You are talking about another force. Help court. You see, the moment you're in court, it is where court can help you. Who are these people who don't? Not me. Me, I've done my part. I changed it as a party president, as the chairman of it since 2012. But you're saying there's another person who don't want to hear about this. Help court. Who are these other people? We are going to listen.
I didn't mention that. I didn't say that there are other people who are interested or not.
You are saying it is not me. Who are these? Your evidence is that it is not me. Remember, you said it is not me. Me, I've done my part. It is now shorter name. It is appreciated by the grassroots. It is not me. Who is this?
Because as you may understand what's going on currently.
No, I'm concentrating on this.
Try to bring in new people in the political grouping, which of course I was leading, and the new people, the new group which joined us, not so much interested. And we said, you can take on the administration. With us, we don't have a problem with it.
And for record, you are saying that the new group you are talking about is responding 3 up to 8. They're the new people you are talking about. That you are bringing.
Show that.
No, I can read. Number 3 is Chagoran Sentam Robert. Number 4 is David Lewis. Number 5 is Aisha Kawanda. Number 6 Joel Senyoni. Number 7 is Flavio Carrere. And number 8 is Nyans Fred Sentam. You are telling court that you agreed this one can take leadership.
Yeah.
That is the evidence.
They could take leadership positions in the members that were in NURP and I, who were to be assigned the new duties.
Is your complaint that you were never assigned new duties? You had your complaint before?
It's unfortunate I was not assigned any duties. I was sidelined.
You were sidelined?
But I didn't have
Wait, what is recording? Wait, what is So if you had not been sidelined, you wouldn't be here.
I don't see the circumstances, because the circumstances that bring me to be here
is because you are sidelined.
Very unexplainable. You can't explain the circumstances why I'm here. Me, all I did, I thought I was operating within a law. Then I brought in these new people, even recruitment of new people in the party. The intention was to bring our party into limelight of real politics.
Yes.
And for me, whether given a portion of what to do or not, it didn't concern me at all. I knew the thing was moving positively. I knew guys who were there. You know, I didn't have any bad feeling about it.
Where did the bad feeling come in? Later, after some time. What happened?
All the people that I came with to join the other team, people who should be in rightful positions, were all sidelined and were not assigned duties. They are not invited for meetings. So that when I left it to those guys to fight it out.
Now,
but my people were also sidelined. I don't know why.
Can this one also mean that's why you had to go and consult another lawyer? Because when you had these complaints from your other colleagues you came in with, probably is it what prompted you? Because that's what I was asking.
Yes.
Is it what prompted you?
It's one of the issues.
One of the issues. So the reason the evidence changed is that when you consult and said my colleagues have not been considered, which is among the issues, it prompted to have another evidence on record. Yeah. Did you say trial court it prompted you to have another evidence because you're say it what?
I can say it clearly, because when we brought the party, we brought in a group of other members, other administrators, managers. We didn't intend to be thrown out of the arrangement. So today we are out of the limelight, we are out of the activities, we are out of action. So that's yes, that's the reason with us, me I took it right because I read that part first.
So, Mr. Kibalama, you are simply telling court that your actual grievance is that the people you came in with to join these other new leaders, the actual grievance.
I wouldn't call it a grievance.
But that is your concern.
I could just call it a concern. But it's not a grievance of some sort.
And you are simply maybe suggesting that if this group plus you, if they assign other duties, you will have no problem. And you get back into the remnant, probably.
No, even if I wouldn't be there,
yes.
I as a person,
yes.
but at the moment my team of NURP was clearly integrated and given the responsibility.
Yes.
We would expect to have an harmonious kind of, working arrangement.
So you are simply telling court that actually forget about falsified results, forget about what I'm saying, but if I get back, if my people I came with, if they can have duties and responsibilities, I have no problem. And that is what you want, that's what you're telling court.
But now there is a matter of...
No, forget about the matter. Forget about the matter. Your grievance is that the people you came with, and I believe the people you came with include Simba Paul.
Yes.
So Simba Paul is also suspended because of this. That is your evidence. He was also sidelined.
It's out of the arrangement.
It's out of the arrangement. And possibly that's why he's also aggrieved.
I wouldn't say he's aggrieved.
But it's not happened.
Probably it's not happening, but it's not aggrieved as such. Because this is...
They have the same concern.
This is a political party, this is politics, this is whatever. So...
No. Mr. Kibalama, you've worked with several regimes. and you know party changes membership. I want your wise advice, because at your age, you have seen a lot. Did you expect, once you invite other members, to still hold on and have those interests and your members to be consulted?
Definitely.
Is it definitely? Is it in the constitution that the moment we change leadership, I should always be consulted and my other members should be given duties and roles?
Well, it's naturally that
It's natural that
when you are the outgoing leader of moving this sort of kind, you need to be consulted, you need to give wisdom, advice, and so on. But when you are sidelined and you are nowhere to be seen in a hierarchy, normally to me you leave it at that. But,
I want to thank you very much for that. But the one last question. Where all political parties have that forum and they meet at the Electoral Commission.
Yes, sir.
And you are still a national unity platform. As per the records.
What records at
Electoral Commission, you are still a representative of National Unity Platform. Forget about other things we're talking about.
And I'm the Secretary of Budget and Finance Committee.
You are also on top of that, the Secretary of Finance and Budget Committee.
Yes, sir. I'm aware of that organ.
You are aware of that organ. And possibly, when you say you are sidelined, these very party leaders and members nominated you. Party that has effectively changed the name. Forget about what transpired. It is this party, the members, the National Unity Platform, in that National Electoral Commission or National Consultative Forum, where you are also a member.
Yes, sir. The fact is that when we change the party name,
when you change party name,
yes, when we change the party name, the membership or lifespan of National Consultative Forum was still ongoing because we renew our membership every 5 years or every 4 years of parliament. Now, when we came to the National Unity Platform, I still retained that representation because time had not come to renew the membership.
And these party leaders, your party has not recalled you. There's no such a thing.
The party has not recalled me because there is no way they recall me.
No, they have not recalled. That's what I want.
Yes.
There's no letter that effect that you have been recalled from that National Consultative Forum as a member of National Unity Platform.
No, sir. I still remain a representative.
But you still want more of the duties in the party and your people?
Of course, many reasons why I started in that political party. Many reasons to serve this country, to serve our communities, and there's a lot to do.
Most of that, those are the questions I had for the
my Lord, I have a number of the gentleman. Mr. Kibalama, my name is Madam Secretary. Questions for confirm that at the age of 59, please don't communicate with those people. Communicate with coach. Or you need your tablets. No, you apply to coach, have your tablets. Do you also need water in addition to the tablets? You just want to chew them. Please may, my Lord, through you, may the supplier of the gentleman's medicine supply the same before we get into another catastrophe. you ready for the questions before you receive your medicine? Thank you. At the age of 59, you are considered a man of advanced age in Uganda, correct?
Yes, sir.
And that age comes with a level of wisdom which you carry with you.
Yes, sir.
Good.
My Lord, I seek to thy confession. My God is saying he's sick and he days take his medication. I would pray God gives him something so that he first takes his medicine.
I
and he settles
object.
down.
I
The question
object.
they asked him, he told him, are you ready to proceed? Unless you're not paying attention. He asked him, are you ready to take questions? And he said it's okay.
My Lord, you
Now,
can say it out of fear.
no, but no, you can, it's sincere. Fear in what?
There's nothing to fear.
He's a police officer, a retired police officer. So don't make it appear like now the fellow is this and he can tell us anything that he wants. Now when you begin throwing in a towel for him before he has
You're blushing, my Lord.
please leave him to, if you're not okay, please let us know. It's your help we are interested in first now.
Before we leave the subject, my lord, and having followed you, I would very strongly apply at this forum that you write another book on professional ethics at the bar. As a celebrated person. But my lord, before you do that, I will continue with the cross-examination. At that age comes with a level of responsibilities to this country, correct?
I do think so.
You think so? And that you know what has caused turbulence in the political history and life of this country, correct?
Yes, sir.
Good. Where do you reside?
Currently,
Yes, current.
in Bali.
You've been in Bali. You have a residence in Bali?
For his security, let's reserve the residence.
No, he has mentioned already.
Let's just leave it at that.
All right. For how long have you resided in Bali? I will not go to whether you intend to go
2 weeks now.
for 2 weeks. And that you have been under the protection of security. True, false?
Well,
Yes, no.
I've been under state program.
You've been under state protection. Yes, answer it.
My Lord, I pray questions touching my client's security, don't be touched by the police. If the facility is but then that's an ethical person, I pray food prevails over, and my clients ask us questions which are relevant to his affidavits.
Don't guide on what is going to be asked.
Right, my Lord.
Most obliged, madam. I do not intend to restate my earlier application.
It is not comfortable answering, you will say, but for you to say, let's avoid over interjection. We shall spend the whole day here for no reason.
Thank you. My lord, I am very well guided and schooled in knowing how to protect witnesses. I am an officer of this court. So my colleague would rather best settle his intentions of interjection. So, Mr. Kibalama, did you apply for security?
I didn't apply for security.
You did not apply for security. Good. Let me take you to this affidavit of the affidavit that where you said the third page, the one originally drafted by Coagan Company Advocates. This particular one of 14th September. Look at it. Did you say you saw it, you signed it at 8 p.m. and you were heading to Kayunga?
Yes, sir.
Okay, give it to me. So after signing this affidavit, did you proceed to Kayunga?
I did.
You did? Okay. And you signed it hurriedly, without adequate consultations.
Yes, sir, because I didn't read even the content of the affidavit.
Okay. So the second one, which was prepared by Barunji, Bayingana and Company Advocates, you had consulted, and this time you were settled. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Where did you sign it from?
I signed it from a hotel.
From your hotel. Which hotel is this?
It's a very small place at Kibalama Nup.
At Kibalama Nup.
The place that is where I was.
That's where you were. With who? Who was in attendance, sir?
There was Simba Paul Kabonde and I.
Okay.
And
Someone who delivered the papers.
Who sent us the papers?
Who sent you the papers? Was he working with Barunji and Company, with your lawyers?
No.
That is Barunji Bayingana?
No, sir.
Did you establish his or her name? Yes or no?
It was the name of Prosper.
Prosper? Okay.
He was a friend of mine.
He was a friend of yours. Is he a lawyer? Since he's your friend. Is he a lawyer?
He's not a lawyer.
He's not a lawyer. Is that all?
Yes.
That is all.
That's all.
Okay.
My Lord, my medicine has been brought back to
You need time to start your medicine? It's all right. You ready, sir? So after going to Kayunga, on the day you saw the first affidavit, how many days did you spend in Kayunga?
2 days.
2 days. Presumably you came back on the 17th or 16th, somewhere around. Good. Mr. Moses Kibalama Nup, please look at this affidavit. Lord, I'm sure the affidavit 492 and 493 of 2020. Is that your signature, sir? You already owned the yes earlier.
Yes, sir.
When was it signed? Going by that date.
14th day of September 2020.
At what time did you sign it?
Around 4 p.m.
Around 4 p.m. Please return it to me. Here's my document. So, after affidavit hurriedly, on 14th September 2020, at 8 p.m., you went to Kayunga, spent there 2 days, but on the same date, at 4 p.m., this time earlier than the original affidavit, you signed another affidavit before another lawyer. Does that propel your credit as an old man?
Well, so it was a critical moment that You know, when I consulted, I was advised that you made a mistake by signing.
Yeah.
And lawyers actually warned me, never ever told us me, which is without reading the body.
Incidentally, thank you for that information. That's not my question. The question rotates on date and time. You signed an affidavit on 14th of September at 8 p.m. Immediately after signing that hurriedly, you proceeded to Kayunga and returned after 2 days. But still on the same date at 4 p.m., presumably before you signed the affidavit drafted by Rupagan Company Advocates, you signed a retracting affidavit at your hotel on the same date, earlier than the original affidavit, which is which?
My Lord, there are those affidavits these people are talking about, and the documents they are talking about are from Lukwago and Company Advocates. I don't know Lukwago and Company Advocates.
The ones you signed at night.
They were brought to me in a private place.
So now the question is asking you,
But
is another document of the same date is referring you to another affidavit of the same date. The question rotates around that, not about which lawyer. They are the same person,
because
for the other one you signed while going to Kayunga very late, then you signed another one retracting, the other one where you were in a hurry on the same date.
My Lord, the law firm that is being talked about have no relationship and nothing to do with that law firm. Therefore, when I was advised to retract the affidavit that is talking about, it's a surprise to me because it
You
was
see, the question is not about lawyers, it's about the documents you signed. Now, if you signed one earlier, how would you have retracted later? You signed the other one later, but now the one retracting is earlier. The question is asking you. I hope I got you
Yes,
right.
that's correct, my lord. The retracting one is signed 4 hours before.
Before
what
the
being
one,
retracted.
that's the question. It's around the time.
My Lord, I signed the documents without knowing the content, without knowing without even having the background.
Forget the content. When did you sign? You see, it's pushing you towards, one of the two must be a lie. You're either telling a lie on the other one, or you're telling a lie on this one. Now, where is the truth? That's what it's trying to establish. If you're saying I signed at 8, how come you signed this one at 4? It cannot be that at 8 you are signing, and then at 4 you had already signed something. So one of the two there must be a lie somewhere. So between the two, where is the lie? That's the question he's asking you.
All I remember is signing a third page of a document which is now without me reading the book.
Don't get about reading. It's about now the document.
Yes.
One document is at 8. This one is at 8. And this one is at 4.
Mr. Kibalama, Central, Mr. Kibalama Nkonge, you're aged 59. You have a diploma in business administration. You have been a senior police officer, very highly trained at the expense of this country. Okay? You signed an affidavit. Okay. You signed this. Did you see the third page?
Yes.
They gave you the third page. My lord, I would invite you to look at the affidavit, the original affidavit, where he signed the third page. Drafted by Wagon Company and Wamelian Company. Now, since he recognizes Wamelian Company, and Wameli is here. Look, this is page 1, page 2, and this is page 3. First, would you show your signature on that page 3?
I don't see this.
Did you sign page 3?
I signed the last page.
Which
of that affidavit.
you have been categorical. Page 3.
I signed the last page of that affidavit.
Good. Now let's go back to the question. You signed it at 8 p.m.
Yes, sir.
And you had been called hurriedly, correct?
Yes, sir.
Who called you?
I had a private arrangement with my colleagues at the place.
Which colleague?
Because
Which colleague called you, sir?
there's a gentleman in Kayunga district with whom we had
The person who called you to come and sign this document is called who?
the person who called me to sign this document was called Louis Lubongoya.
Good. He's the one you've been referring to as your colleague. Correct?
Yes, one is a colleague within the political party.
He's your colleague in your party.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Good. So you sign at 8.
Yes, sir.
But then there is the retracting affidavit, which you had signed at 4 p.m. before you signed this last page. How do you explain the timing? And from signing this particular last page, you rushed to Kayunga for 2 days.
Me, I was not so particular about the dates or timing of these two affidavits.
You have been particular. It came from you.
I was not so particular on that particular document.
On the timing.
That I signed.
Okay.
All I remember is that by around 8 p.m., I was approached by a group of lawyers at Bukoto.
Very good.
At Bukoto, they gave me a document to sign, but the document in the last...
That is understood, sir.
The last what? Without reading through. Now I left the responsibility to the Master Secretary General.
Mr. Kibalama, do not be a paper tiger. A paper tiger receives a question and answers his own. Now answer mine. Okay, 8 p.m. Was it dark? 8 p.m. Was it dark?
It was dark.
And you proceeded to Kayunga. And you returned after 2 days. Let's go back to the one of 4 p.m. Was it dark also?
4 p.m. it was daytime.
It was daytime. At a location in Mengo, at your hotel? Ruvaga, at your hotel. You read this affidavit, which was prepared by Barunji, Bayingana and Kampala Advocates. Did you read through? And it was retracting what was in the original one. By this time, did you know what the contents of the original one, which you signed after Lewis Longway called you? Did you know the contents, sir?
I didn't know the content because I didn't read it. That's what I'm told.
But you were still retracting the contents.
I just signed the last page of that.
Do you know where this affidavit of Marunji and Bayingana was drafted from?
I don't know.
Were you there when they were drafting it?
No, when they just wrote when it was
Prepared.
The facts that I happened to read through before
And you confirmed them.
Yeah.
Well, my lord, for the food of court and time, I will leave the question for now on this. May I say that you are a horrendous liar? Would I be right to say you're a liar? Or somewhere you have lied?
You've been wrong.
I'll be wrong. Have you ever told a lie anywhere?
Not in my life.
Not in your life. So even when you were retracting contents of an affidavit you did not know, you were not telling a lie.
I wasn't.
Even when you were signing an affidavit, retracting another which you had not signed, you were not telling a lie. Now, let me just help you to know part of the law. Under section 94(1), as a police officer of the Penal Code, when you tell a lie, on oath, you commit an offense called perjury, and you are liable on conviction, the term not exceeding 2 years in prison. Does that help you to apologize to court? No, it's information. Since you may not, you say you sometimes you forget. It's not a threat. Now, do you wish to apologize to court for any lie?
No need, because I haven't told any lie.
Good. Under the Political Parties and Organizations Act, which you referred to gladly, particularly section 15(3), any political party or organization or any person which or who B furnishes information knowing it to be false in any material particular commits an offense and is liable on conviction, a period not exceeding 200 currency points or imprisonment not exceeding 2 years or both. You have confirmed on oath during prosecution that you submitted false returns knowingly. What do you have to say about the offense you committed?
Well, by the time we worked out these papers and minutes and other resolutions and whatnot, it wasn't clear to us. We didn't intend it. We didn't know we were bound to commit an offense. But we were fulfilling.
What was not clear?
We were fulfilling.
Something was not clear.
Yeah, we were fulfilling our statutory.
But you have been the hold of this position. You said how many? How many years? 16. You have an obligation towards filing returns, and you're not aware that when you file false returns, they attract a sanction.
No,
see, I was going to introduce this quoting
my
to
lord,
the
my
circus.
lord, all documents, not all documents.
Because you have hold of that position for
Yes.
16 years.
Yes.
You must know this act in and out. Consequences, penalties, sanctions. So you're saying you are not aware that by making falsehoods, because you said you made false returns,
My lord,
it's an offense?
my lord,
A former police officer?
my lord.
You see, sometimes what I don't want is you to go out celebrating that I put up a spirited fight in saying things which were not relevant. Because you're a senior person, and that's why he's insisting on that age. You see, we don't want to set a bad precedent that someone can get to court and say whatever he wants to say. And he says, me, I don't remember that. Me, I don't know these things. If I was committing an offense, I'm not aware whether I was committing an offense. A retired police officer. Now, what will the ordinary person in our village say who has been conscripted in the party?
My lord, politics in practice is far different in acts and actions.
But you're committing an offense. And you're supposed to be a leader. If your party goes through,
what could have,
and you become a prime minister or a vice president.
my lord, what could have prompted that kind of thing is that we had negotiated with a team, another political team on the other side, and they were supposed to facilitate us with the little money that we given out to delegates in the form of lunch, tea break, and the others, and then we were supposed to pay them a transport fund. But by the time we reached on that big day of the project, of that meeting, that is conference, our friends of the other party did not honor their promises. Now,
That pushed you to forge?
that pushed us to sit.
So we rather commit offenses, but we have to get it through.
No, because we had already notified the Electoral Commission, it did not say the other documents. Now, what we did was to sit forward of the particular meeting we knew what the content of the medicine would be. We knew what our intention we intended with that particular meeting. So we wrote minutes. Not really that we were committing an offense, but we are bridging a gap.
But have you, the law allows you to bridge the gap.
I think, actually, my lord, the question is, was he submitting returns that he knew to be false? Simple as that. Whether he knew the law is a different matter. As you submitted these returns, did you know they were false?
There's no.
Did you know they were false?
I didn't know. I didn't know because when we presented the documents to the Electoral Commission,
okay,
they honored them. They accepted them.
Okay.
So
so they believe, was the Electoral Commission wrong in believing you, a person who had run a political party for 16 years?
They were not wrong.
They were not wrong in believing you. Good. Do you also agree with me that when a political party is registered, it is a public entity? Yes or no? You were on camera saying that you were promised $5 million before you left the party leadership. Is that correct?
Where was this, sir?
No, I'm asking, is that correct? You were promised $5 million or not?
I'm not aware of that.
You're not aware. That's okay, that's the answer I want. Is it also true that you were selling this political party?
No, sir.
You were not selling.
Political parties are never sold.
Are never sold.
And there is no supermarket in Kampala that political party can be sold.
That's correct. That's correct.
In any case, you may want to ask from those politics over what, whether you think they're voting a political party.
I will not cross-examine them. I'm cross-examining. Now, first, if we look at the affidavit, this one, the one sworn on 14th September 2020 at 4 p.m. You state that there were 41 persons who attended the delegates conference. That's in paragraph 7. My lord, the one in the certificate. You say we were 41 people who delegates conference to elect the office bearers. We were 41 people who participated and elected the new office bearers unopposed. Is that true? You can read for yourself since you are literate. Please read paragraph 7. And loud.
In preparation for the 2021 elections in July 2020, we held another meeting at Wakisho Gardens Hotel, Kakiri, where we chose new office bearers for the NAP party. And I, Vice Secretary General Bobi Kagombe, handed over office to the new executive. Once again, due to financial constraints and the ban on political meetings under the COVID-19 regulations, we could not convene a delegates conference to elect new office bearers. We were about 41 people who participated and elected the new office bearers unopposed, without proper delegates conference.
Give it to me. Please, go ahead.
We did all this in good faith and for the good of the party intended to keep the party alive.
Give it to me. This is the affidavit which was prepared by your lawyers, Barunji and who? Baingana. And that was 14th September 2020.
Yes.
Now look at this one of 17th September 2020. Is that your affidavit also? Look at the last page which has a signature looking like yours. Is that your affidavit? That your signature, sir?
Yes, sir.
Dated when?
Dated 17th day of September 2020.
Where did you sign it from?
I think this is the one I signed.
Where did you sign it from?
Baga Road.
Baga Road. At what time?
At around
Around 4 p.m. Good. Let me show you the paragraph I want you to read for court. You are literate. Read paragraph 7b, which I have underlined for you.
The resolution and minutes of the extraordinary ladies conference at Kakiri on 14th July 2020 are not true, as such meeting did not take place. We sat as only 9 people and decided to rubber stamp the 3rd to 9th respondents as the new office bearers.
Okay.
After which we collected signatures, rubber stamped the decision, and even created the ceremonies for the resolutions.
From 41 to 9, which of the 2 statements is correct? Which of the 2 is correct? At least these affidavits are not drafted by Lukwago and Company. Different lawyers. So, are they both your lawyers?
No.
So, is Bayingana, Birungi, and Company Advocates, are they your lawyers?
That's my advocate.
Answer the question. It's a simple. He's mentioning names, not personality.
I don't know the company within which my lawyer trades from my lawyer.
You think it's behavior?
I couldn't company name, sir.
You try to make what look like a circus and you come and say, I don't know this one, it's this one, and you make it look so casual.
I can clear that for you, sir.
Because it's referring to 2 documents filed by 2 lawyers who came. Because that time, I think when the first lawyer came, the issue arose as to whether it was Wamedi and others, and then it was, who was it? Was it? But there was a lawyer who came, who was on record here. Then the issue arose as to whether he was representing you.
My lord, actually, is the lawyer who presented that affidavit that we are referring to.
Exactly. So, now, when there are 2 documents from your side, unless you are saying now from the Ruamedis and the Lukwagos, because even this one, I think it's jointly drafted.
Maybe for health, my lord, be reminded not to take overdose. See, swallow the tablet. I still need him, my lord. I don't want you to disappear before I finish with it. Okay, Mr. Kibalama Nup, who is your lawyer? Tell court. Who is your lawyer? What by name? What is the name of your lawyer? No. Through the microphone.
My lawyer is seated on your right-hand side in the 4th.
He is called who?
Yes, sir.
He is called who? Do you know his name or you don't? You called him Biamkama.
I don't recall his name.
How did you get to know him?
Through a friend of mine.
Which friend?
Called Prosper.
The friend called Prosper. The one who introduced you.
Yes, sir.
When was your first time meeting him?
Just within that week.
Which week?
Last week.
Last week? You met him last week? Did he come to Mbale? Please answer.
You're mentioning about Mbale.
Yes, I'm asking. Did he come to Mbale? That's where you met him.
I met him in Kampala for the first time.
When?
I won't remember the particular day.
But you said it's last week.
It was last week. Could be Tuesday or Monday.
So when you met last week, what did you sign any documents with him?
No, I didn't sign anything.
You did not sign any documents.
Because the documents were brought at the last stage.
So, I will now take you the question. 41 people, 9 people in 2 different affidavits. Which one is correct?
I think that is
The time is 12 o'clock.
the affidavit containing 9 people is the correct one.
The one of 41 is the correct one.
The one of 9 people.
Says 9.
The one of 9. Okay. I will show you some document here. Please look at this document.
What's the document?
My lord, I'm going to introduce it after your turn. Does that document bear your signature?
It does.
It does. And what is the second signature on the document?
That's Brother Jojo Dodge.
Brother Jojo Dodge. Did you sign it as president of that party then?
Yes.
And Odoki as what?
Secretary.
Now please read it for God to know which document it is.
That I read it.
Please read.
I read the main body.
Yes.
That at second meeting of the Party National Executive Committee, duly held at College Inn Hotel, Wandegera, on the 3rd November 2005, it was resolved that the quorum of an extraordinary delegates conference be set at 40 delegates, which is the same quorum as that of the ordinary delegates conference. By order of the National Executive Committee, signed by Comrade Moses Kibalama, President Bobi, Secretary.
Where is the origin of that document? Do you have it?
I wouldn't remember where this document is, but all I can assure you is that
it is your
this
document.
record is at the Electoral Commission. Because while we keep one copy of the document, the rest remains on file.
But that is your document.
Yes, I did.
So the National Executive Committee of your party then, which sat at its second meeting on 3rd November 2005, resolved that the quorum for extraordinary general meetings, delegates conference, be set at 40. Good. Do you know the number of delegates you have in this party?
The number of delegates?
Yeah.
You have more than 394.
Since 2005, did you ever convene a meeting of the delegates conference?
I think we've ever done that.
You did. Did you place this before the delegates conference? This.
Yeah, but you...
Did you not?
Council.
Did you or you did not?
I did not.
But I am applying to tender this document owned by the witness through him as part of our evidence. And the reason I'm tendering the photocopy is because we are not in possession of the original. Witness is, and he has fully owned the contents thereof.
I don't have no objection.
We pray that the same be received and that will be allowed later to make copies for the entire paper.
The document is admitted as the Respondent's Exhibit E1.
Thank you, my lord. Mr. Kibalama. When you were founding this political party, was it that you wanted to capture power through this party, through an election?
That's the purpose of all political parties.
I am asking about yours.
Yes.
Is it still your vision?
It's still my vision.
Are you still a member of the first respondent, the National Unity Platform, with whom you were sued?
I'm still a member because
You're a
I'm
member.
subscribed.
I don't want the reason. I've taken your answer at face value this time. Who is your party president? As we speak.
Currently, the party is being led by Chairman
Robert Silver. Okay. Sir, are you also aware, or no, is it also true that in this political party, you are the head of the Elders and Advisory Committee?
No, I'm not aware.
You're not aware. But you said it at a press conference. Do you want to look at the video? Did you say it at a press conference?
Remind me.
Yes, you said it at a press conference. That you gave the party to young people to lead it, and that you were leading the elders in the party. Do you now remember? Do you trust your memory?
I trust my memory. It's not anywhere in the written form that I'm the elder or whatever representative.
Is it somewhere in an unwritten form?
No.
Have you ever sat at a press conference with Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu?
Where?
In Kampala.
I remember one time at Kamwaki.
At Kamwaki. What did you state at that press conference?
Okay. Did I state in regard to what?
In regard to these people, Basile Defas and Tuala Hassan.
I tried to inform whoever was interested here that I knew Defas as a young man and Tuala, both being relatives of my close friend, Colonel Juma Seiko. Because I was so close to Colonel Juma Seiko, he could come and reside at my Uambo residence, and in most cases I would also come to reside in Kampala. So if I don't have transport to go home, just go and sleep at my house, and that was it.
So you knew Basile Diffas and Tuara Hassan as relatives of your friend Kano Jumasi?
Yes.
Okay. Now, are they members of this party?
That's where the snag is, because
Yes.
Out of courtesy,
Yes.
I delegated these two boys to come at this farewell hotel
Yes.
in 2005 to represent
Represent who?
the party at a political meeting that was taking place between the government of Uganda and the political forces that were meeting at the farewell hotel here.
Okay.
So that's the very first time that these people came on, within the party and to carry out activities of the party. And since then, they didn't.
Never saw them again.
Whenever I go to Kibalama house, and this boy was at Makerere University. He joined Makerere. He never had the time for the party and things like that, for political issues. So he remained there. He knows me, I know him. But it was such a friendly kind of basis that Basile is the one who used to cater for me when I'm at the residence.
Jumasi.
Because they cook food for you, they do this kind of stuff. So I chose him and said, you will go to represent us in this capacity. And did in 2005, Basile and his uncle, former ambassador of Uganda to Russia, Mr. Sam Sakaja, who passed on, he presented us at the farewell meeting. Not as, because if you say whether it's a member of the party
you are not aware
or not.
Okay, this case was filed on 24th August 2020. Have you, since then, had a discussion with Kano Jumasi?
On phone.
Was it on phone? Okay. Did you discuss the case filed by his relatives against you?
Well, my concern to him as a friend
Yes.
is that, Juma, why should you have done that for our relatives? Without necessarily first informing me, or meeting over and discussing issues, and we agree. So that was just concern.
What was his response?
Oh, there are issues that he mentioned to me.
What did he say? You are now in court, just to remind you.
Well, he said they don't know the reason why the boys were behaving in such a manner. That's what he said. I don't know why those boys behaved in such a manner, because even I, as their uncle, I was never informed at all.
You have never met him since then?
I've never met him since.
Okay. When you were being cross-examined by Mr. Eric Sabiti, you mentioned the circumstances which led you to where you are. One of them was being sidelined by the new leadership of the party. What? Sorry, you're shaking your head in disapproval?
Yes, indeed. Whether I'm certified or discertified, about this office, holding the certain office or the other, it's not my concern either. Let it go down in my own feelings that I'm angry because I don't have a position.
Yes, you say that's one of the reasons, but then what could be the other reasons or the circumstances that would have been?
Mr. Segona, I hear you clearly.
Yes.
I don't understand the circumstances I talked to about being here.
Yes.
Is that you are fully aware that I was disconnected with public affairs in my life about 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
I hear my house is being secured by organizations that I don't understand. So from that moment up to today, I'm here because of those circumstances that I can't explain. Now, I don't know those circumstances that cannot be explained by me. That's why I'm here. Under very unclear circumstances. Although I've come now to understand it is a court case, and I'm here to answer for and on behalf of the court.
Who informed you that you were required to come to court today?
Someone smuggled. Someone smuggled a newspaper in the place where I was. And he said, "No, it's just forever. You're going to court. Look at it." I looked at the newspaper, and yes, it's true that
you were required.
That's the time I understood I was required here. That's it. I didn't have any control over myself.
Who had control over yourself?
I don't know, because
you were also filmed saying that the leadership of the National Unity Platform reached their agreement with you. Were you expressing your mind freely, or you had some other form of circumstances that you cannot explain?
I request for your protection, sir. He's asking me whether that trip was under duress or whatever means you were going to this.
So the challenge is if he had not sworn contradictory affidavits and maybe appeared for cross-examination, there would have been a civil way of doing it. So you come here and testify and say, no, I think these are the circumstances. But sometimes when you invite yourself into throwing different documents now, Mr. Seguna, you could rephrase the question.
Yes, my lord, I'm making as much restraint as possible professionally, but this is a witness who is before you, and if he needs your protection, he will have to state it. May I ask you, is there any way you would like God to assist you out of the circumstances where you are?
Well, at the moment,
yes,
I wouldn't say such a thing because even here where we are,
yes,
there's a degree of protection which the movement of my home.
yes.
But I hope at the end of this cross-examination, things may change for the better.
You hope things may change for the better?
I hope.
Okay. Well, I can perfectly understand the agony of an old man shedding tears in circumstances of this nature. You will forgive me, but I will ask some questions very politely myself as you answer them. You've had a meeting with the Director General of the Internal Security Organization. Was that your free will in that meeting?
I've been meeting before.
Before. So you've never met him up to now?
No.
And the CDF?
I met the CDF.
When?
General Muhozi.
Yes. When was this meeting?
It was also another Sunday.
Yes.
There was a rally from Kayunga.
Yes.
Of course, our vehicle was being monitored.
Okay.
So we get your telephone and say, oh, we see where you are, and we need you here. We need you to answer few questions here. So since we are not criminals of any nature, we thought we go there and explain ourselves.
Yes.
So I went in. It was a cordial kind of chat.
Yes.
But about 4 or 5 questions, which one needed to answer. Gave the answer. Eventually told us that you are free. Go to your home. That's what.
And you went. And the discussion was about National Unity Platform, confirmed.
It was about National Unity Platform.
Was it about treason?
It's nothing like
treason. Yeah. But you're discussing about the change of leadership and name of the party. Was security concerned that this could be illegal?
That what could be illegal?
That the change of name and leadership would be illegal?
No, I didn't have such a concern.
No, from their perspective as security of the country.
I just wondered, you know, something comes as a surprise.
Indeed.
And you say, oh, so by making internal changes
would be security would be
questioning.
Yes.
At a higher level.
Yes. Who else attended that meeting apart from the CDF?
My Lord, I request that don't answer that question.
Give another question.
I can drop it, and I understand the circumstances. Have you since met the President of the Republic?
Never.
So when you left the CDF's office, you proceeded, right?
I went home.
You went home. Until when?
I think I met the CDF on Sunday.
Yes.
But I think on Tuesday.
Yes.
I was driving from home.
Yes.
That's when I was talked by some individuals, civilians, asking me issues, which issues are very well explained.
The issues related to this party again.
It's an relationship party.
Yes.
But it wasn't much. They didn't do anything wrong then.
Yes.
They said, can we see you by 4 p.m.? I said, fine.
Yes.
At 4 p.m.,
yes.
At this time, this is where
up to this time, this is where you are. Okay, was this before or after you had signed these 2 affidavits that I have shown you?
that was before.
That was.
Listen.
That was before you signed the affidavits.
No, wait. I had signed the affidavit with my lawyers.
Okay.
I signed the affidavit with my lawyers. There was no duress, there was no nothing wrong. So, the issue of affidavits clearly say.
Did you use to issue political membership cards in your party?
In which period?
Before you handed over office?
Our party never issued membership cards because of reasons. We are a young political party. There is no funding from anywhere. Now, bringing in people by way of giving cards. These people would turn around maybe a year or two or so, and put false claims of such. So we are avoiding to issue cut.
You have answered my question. When you look at this supplementary affidavit of yours, and in particular, read paragraph 9.
As well as this affidavit, we supplement my second affidavit drawn by Barungi by Ghana, the company case, the contents of which speak the truth as I stand, and I stand by.
Which means, therefore, you had also instructed Bayingana and Bayingana Barungi and company advocates. That's why you were supplementing.